And thankfully, he was caught on camera moving
Meandering.
Madeline from the front passenger seat to the trunk. This type of evidence is irrefutable, and a jury will have to view what they have, and decide Stephan Sterns' fate. But on that fateful Monday, February 26th,
No.
what was going through Stephan's mind as he drove and drove and drove, probably encountering morning rush hour traffic,
Mm-hmm.
hoping no one would notice that the newly teenage girl right next to him in the passenger seat, slumped over, wasn't just sleeping.
Right. The officers noticed that right away. And if it was in the 80s, Janice Rivera, remember, it was so early that he left. Maddie didn't start school until 9:30, closer to 9:30. He left the house before 7:30 in the morning. That's way too early, even for a special McDonald's breakfast. Okay. So that's just a nonsense story. No, I do not believe that he drove around on a flat tire. His tire was shredded. We saw that. I do believe that it was shredded. He panicked and he put her as fast as he could and as quick as he could into those bushes, very close to the road, 3 rows in, and you can see it. Yeah, the sun barely rose then, but he did that because he didn't want to see. See, I don't think he thought about her smelling. I think he just wanted to get her out. Now, if she was slumped over like that, then I don't think her body was hard yet, because her mouth was just gapped it wide open. And I just thought about that when Plunder said that. The jury's gonna have to see these pictures, you guys. They're gonna see these pictures and be, oh, I would not want to be the jury. Yeah, the tire was shredded. He didn't drive on that very long, I'll tell you that. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. We learn something new every time.
Detectives could see that from the surveillance video. What did other people sitting right there next to him in traffic believe?
Right?
He drove for so long, nearly 10 miles, until he finally ended up at this holiday club's vacation parking lot,
This is where he
and
took her
decided to
body out.
go all the way up to the top floor and try and hide as he moved Madeline's body.
Where
But it didn't work. He was discovered. This whole time driving around,
yeah.
meandering around, had he been to this place before?
Uh,
Is that why he chose that location?
no. If he was, it was with Jen. I'll tell you that
Ironically, there was
much.
just a cross on the
I
side of
believe
the
that.
road there. What
Allegedly.
was the weather like that day? Did it look similar to this?
80 degrees, we found out, right?
Eventually, he made his way to that parking lot garage. Maybe Stephan Sterns realized he could not just keep driving and driving and driving with Madeline right there by his side. Is this when he came up
Absolutely.
with the words to that poem?
Wow. Interesting.
Always. Who could
And that's when I say I believe he was definitely in some weird kind of where he thought he was in love with Maddie. And it's a sick way when you watch predators talk, when you watch these cases where they're up for parole and they talk about their victims, they talk about their victims, number one, like it's the victim that came onto them. And number two, in this weird way, like they don't call them victims unless they catch on to what the parole board wants. They talk about them like it was in a relationship. And many times the parole board tells these predators that was not a sexual relationship you were in, that you were being a predator, that was your prey. All right, so they think of it much different than we do. Yeah, that was a poem created during this time. I don't know about that. He was in jail already when he wrote that, I believe, but maybe he was thinking of them.
do this? Just like Chris Watts, he had so much
Of
time
course.
driving around to turn
Of
himself
course.
in,
Not
but
love.
instead he ended up here. According to page 87 of an Orange County Sheriff's Office
Yeah.
report, violent crimes detective Leonard Jones observed surveillance footage that revealed by 9:40 a.m. Stearns's vehicle turned onto the Holiday Inn Club's Vacations located
There's
at
the
9271 South John Young Parkway in Orlando from Emissary Avenue, then proceeded to the parking garage. At 9:41 a.m., the vehicle arrived on the top level of the parking garage, then backed.
Now let's think of this while this is happening. He's moving her body, Maddie's body, from the front to the trunk. This is when supposedly Jen was just waking up and meandering her way onto her blood appointment. So try to think about that as with the time frame. He left before 7:30 to get out of the house before the roommates would see him, supposedly. Although I have a feeling that Jen helped him to get out and he went through Jen's room. That's where he lost the crock, allegedly. All right, in my opinion. So try to remember this time frame and what directly he did after that, and then coincide those times with when Jen says that she was home and they started chatting. So this is like boom, boom, boom. He put her in the trunk, drove over there, got a flat tire, dumped Maddie's body, as he calls it, and Jen Soto, and then meandered his way back to his different alibi stops that he did. And all while when I see him doing this, he stopped to get gas or get something. I think $20 worth of gas. The lady at the store said he was wearing a white shirt. How did that go from red to white? When did he stop and change that? Is it even that day? Yeah, you guys, we all agree about that croc. Something happened there. And yes, that's a hotel, unrelated hotel to anything else. And welcome. Good to see you. See ya. Good to see all of you. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you guys see Chief in chat anywhere. We want to shout out to him. All right. No, I don't think the hospital was the same as the generator at the blood appointment. I don't know, but I don't think so. I haven't heard that.
Into a parking space. At 9:42 a.m., a fair-skinned male wearing what appeared to be a dark hat, a reddish shirt, and once again tan pants, exited the vehicle from the driver's seat, then walked to the back of the vehicle, opened the trunk. The male
Good
walked to the
question.
passenger side of the vehicle, opened the door, proceeded to carry what appeared to be a limp female body to the trunk of the vehicle. At approximately 9:44 a.m., the same male subject entered the driver's seat of the same vehicle, then drove away. Stephan apparently headed from that Holiday Inn Club's Vacation back to the condo because at 10:14 a.m., the silver Lincoln MKZ enters the complex through the east gate of the complex. And 40 minutes later, at 10:54 a.m., the silver Lincoln MKZ parks again by the workshop near the complex dumpster. Now, this male was wearing a blue shirt, and again he throws something into the complex dumpster.
All right, so he went from a red shirt, now a blue shirt, and the lady that saw him get gas had a white shirt.